Regis. St. Regis was a saint of hospitality, I think, is what I recollected. So I'm not sure if that is what they had in mind when they established this co-op, but we'll see how it goes. I'm also wanting to show the front entrance again as I leave the St. Regis. And now we'll just go ahead and show you the rest of the building. 48 apartments, and as I said, built in 1909. And each person gets a storage unit downstairs. We have gated parking around the back, and there is a guard here 24/7. Very good security. So today is March the 5th, it's a Sunday, and the temperature is about 61, 62 degrees. Nice day here in St. Louis. And what I like to do when I go for these exercise walks is to find something I haven't seen before. And I've walked over here to Forest Park many times. We've lived here 10 years. So finding something new as I walk along is often a challenge, but we'll see what I can discover here. I'm not even sure where I'm going to walk today. I've been over to the duck pond. I've been to the Victorian Bridge. I think I might just walk over toward the zoo and go to the, let me see, there's a outdoor theater there. I could walk over there. Haven't done that yet. Here's that trash can that was knocked over, still filled up. They haven't emptied it now for about a week and a half, so it's getting a little. Now this thing used to be, it wasn't covered up like it is now, but you could take your picture with it, and it gave you a tour of Forest Park. It looks like it got broken somehow. One time it got completely knocked over and smashed. You can still see the glass over there on the ground. Okay, so now we're going to take a chance going across King Highway here. Green arrow for the turners yet. Nobody coming, I don't think. Looks like I can go. I got my little green walking guy there. And this is probably one of the worst intersections for crashes here in St. Louis. A lot of people run these red lights, and it's a good thing they're close to the hospital, I guess. And so we're going to walk over this way. I do like to walk off the beaten path, as I mentioned in another video, because you see things that, you don't see when you stay on that beaten path, paved path is what it is, really. Oh, one time I tried to show the Jewish memorial they have for the Jewish pilgrims that came to America back in 1656. And the video didn't work very well, so I want to make sure I got it on this time. Yeah, it's recording okay. Sometimes I hit the record button and it doesn't start. Got to press it harder, I guess. In any case, this is on the way where I'm planning to go. And then this is the dedication plaque here. And I don't know if the reflection on it, you can read it, I'll read it. Dedicated initially in November 1956, the Lucy and Stanley Lopata Plaza, commemorating the 300th anniversary of the first Jewish settlement in America, was the inspiration of Rabbi Ferdinand Isserman. Though marking a Jewish historical event, it celebrates America as a haven for all people seeking freedom of life, worship, speech, and opportunity. And then rededicated in 1989, rehabilitation was made possible by the generosity of a gift from Lopatas, matched by 45 additional subscribers. Architects were Helmuth Obata and Casabaum, and construction was by BSI Construction The sculptor was the St. Louis Karl Mose, M-O-S-E. So now let's go over and take a look at it. Well, first, this is the whole plaza. And they usually have fountains here when summer comes. Lots of wonderful plants and flowers. And a couple benches you can sit on. And then we walk up here and take a tour of it. And so here's the sculptor. You can see the figures, children. It says for the widow, for the stranger, for the fatherless. And then down here, and none shall make them afraid. None shall make them afraid. Let's get some detail here. We'll come around this side. Of course, got the American flag up there. And here's the ship. Came 1654. And now we have, not sure what this is. It looks like maybe a synagogue or temple. And then over here, proclaim liberty throughout the land. And this is your commemoration statement. And we have these copper plaques here. Okay, so and it's lit up at night. Got to watch it when you're walking on these steps. So walk down, and again we can take a look at the whole thing. In the context, this is the 100th Kingshighway building here behind it. There's our American flag flying. And so, okay, let's go ahead and walk toward the Muni Opera. It's an outdoor theater established here in Forest Park. I don't know what years. There's a memorial there. I'll probably take a peek at that. As we go along, though, we're looking for something that I haven't seen before here in Forest Park. So far, I don't see anything, but we'll keep an eye out. I think that's important to do whenever you go to a familiar place. Always try to look at it from a different perspective. You might see something you haven't seen before. Now I'm walking on the beaten path, so let's walk over this way a little bit. You might see something over here under this huge pine tree. Looked like there was something, well, it's just probably a branch on the ground. But one thing I'm noticing here, I don't think I've paid attention to this before, there's no grass. It's because the needles have covered up all of the grass underneath the pine tree. You can see down below. And so there's something I haven't paid much attention to before, that these pine needles that you see are just amazingly thick. I'd say they're about an inch thick. Let me see. Yeah, at least an inch thick, and there's nothing, there's no grass under there. It just covers it like a mulch. Okay? And then you can see the thick, oh wow, I haven't noticed the thickness of the bark on that. That's my finger length. I would say 3-4 inches thick on some of these, the bark on that pine tree. It's a huge one. I wish I knew how to determine how old a tree was by its girth, but I don't. So, well, anyway, that's something new. I didn't notice that before. I guess because it's a huge pine tree and the other ones are smaller, don't cast down as many needles, something like that. So you can see here's a sign, Forest Park, History Museum, Zoo, Visitor Center, all going that way, and that's the way we're going to go. We get over here to cross the street. I try to cross the streets with the crosswalk markers just so I'm being as safe as possible. A lot of the cars do not go the speed limit here in Forest Park, which is, I think, 20 miles an hour. So, and this street that we're going on now is Grand Drive. Grand Drive. So here we go. Take a look both ways here. There's a car coming, but maybe he'll stop. No, I guess he decided not to. So, one of the fascinating things are these maps that they put throughout the park. I'll walk over here and show it to you. So here's a map. And what I'm planning to do is walk from where we're at now over to the Muni Opera. So looking on here, here's the Muni here. And right now, we're over here somewhere. Yeah, here we are. We're right here. So we're going to walk up this way and go to the Pagoda Circle. And that's interesting, too. The pagoda, it used to be a bandstand there, and somebody used to live underneath it in an apartment. And there is the Muni Opera. So we just kind of walk around there, and then maybe, well, we'll see what we'll do after that. Here we go. Now, once again, I'm walking on the beaten path. I'm going to cross over here, and I'm disobeying my own rules. I don't have a crosswalk, but I did look both ways, and as my mom and dad told me to do, so that was safe. So here we go over on the beaten path again. I almost have to do it here because of the narrowness of the grass along the side. Although I could climb up there a little bit. Let me do that. Yeah, so might find something along this way that I haven't thought about before, or I might have seen it, just didn't pay attention to it, you know, like I did with those needles back there. Okay. Well, it's now March 5th, and I'm sure looking forward to seeing these trees start to get some leaves on them again, and get a chance to do a walk with, here we go, look at that, little tiny flowers there in the ground. I don't know what they're called. Really should look up the names of some of these things, but that's good. Getting some flowers back. And some of the trees that are cut down, I kind of miss them. They had some odd shapes to them, but they were kind of falling apart. So you can see some stumps over here. There's, how many of them there were cut down right in here? Looks like there's 1, 2, 3 of them right here. Well, there's 4. Okay, 4 stumps. Now it's getting kind of wet over here. I'm going to get back up toward the beaten path. The beaten path is good when it's soggy off the beaten path. Let's put it that way. So, as we go along here on this journey, there's the duck pond over there. I think it's called Sullivan Lake or something like that, but I call it the duck pond. Canada geese are over there. I did a walk around there already, so one of my favorite spots. And a lot of bicyclists in the park. They do have like a bike path area on these paved areas that they're supposed to stay in, and mostly it's honored. And now we're walking over the two pathways here for vehicles. You have the Metrolink here, and then that's Forest Park Parkway as well. When they put the Metrolink in, there was some controversy about putting it through the park, but they've done a pretty good job blocking it off, and it's only on the periphery of the park, so the sounds that you're hearing of all the vehicles and if a train would come by are not going to be disruptive once we get deeper into the park itself. And if you do a walk in the park, I do recommend, as I say, to you know, these are nice concrete walkways, but you're not going to see all the wildlife and all of the vegetation that you see if you just walk off the beaten path. And there are no signs that say stay off the grass, so don't worry about that. Now this interesting building here, I'm not sure, I think it has to do with the fishery, the people that work there. And this lake over here, or pond, is where they have lots of fish, and you can come over here when it's permitted, and they'll teach you how to fly fish and things like that with your rods. I think you can rent rods too. I think they have those in, and they've got lavatories over there as well. And in the summer, you'll see that whole pond is covered with lily pads. They all grow up. Right now they're all gone. They just disappear. Oh, here's like there was a robin there looking for a worm, I guess. And again, you can see those roots sticking up from the cypress trees that are planted next to the water. I've got to look that up as to why they have those roots coming up like that out of the ground. It's unlike any other tree. These other trees that are along here, they don't do that. Only the cypress. There's some more cypress roots over there. Walk over toward that. You're not kind of on the way, but at least you can see what I'm talking about more clearly. And we can take a look at the pond here. And I know I come from the Great Lakes area, and it really bothers me that they call these little ponds lakes. But they do. They call them lakes, not ponds. But, you know, I'm used to Lake Erie, Lake Huron, and so on. But you can see all of these little... so here's a tree here, and those are roots that come up. It sends them out toward the water edge. Maybe, I'll have to look that up. And maybe put that into a slide or something in this video later on. But get an idea. Here's another pond over here, or lake. That it looks like the water is kind of low in that one right now. So this is a kind of a path along the roadway, but they have paths like over here that go off along into the forests, so you don't hear the traffic like you hear along here. And a lot of joggers are coming along here. And a lot of times when I'm walking along in here, those cranes come, they call them, with the long necks and everything. I don't see any right now. Look, there's a guy over there. Might be fishing, I think. I'm not sure what he's doing. Yeah, it looks like he's got a line cast into the stream there. And I find this railing fascinating. It's I'll show it to you when I stop here. It's got these little circles on it. And then it's got these big globes. One time there was a moth right on the top of a globe like that. I've got a still picture of it. I should insert that in the video sometime. And so go along here further. And then the rocks that form the barrier of the stream, I guess those were here. And in Forest Park, I don't think they moved those here. And you can see a whole bunch of them over here that they haven't covered up with grass or anything. So it must be the original rock formations here in Forest Park. One of the times I was walking through here, there was a goose with 1 foot, and I noticed that it was hop along, and then it was had a band on its the one leg that still had a foot. And I took a picture of that band, and then I went online, and I found out that that particular goose was not a duck, it was a goose. That goose, Canada goose, was hatched here in St. Louis area. There was a hatchery. I don't know if it's still here, but there was a hatchery, and that goose was hatched here in St. Louis and then released in the wild. Oh, is that it over there? I think that might be the goose I'm talking about. It's always by itself and not with another, because it can't keep up with the other geese. And I think, well, no, there's two of them there. So that's probably not it. Usually there's a male and a female together. So this probably isn't the one I was talking about. Although we'll get up as close as we can to it and see. Yeah, it's got two legs and 2 feet. And then this one does too. Now this one is probably the male, and he is like being really challenging to me. It's okay. Can I pet you though? Would you let me pet you? I'm not going to hurt you. Could I just reach out and let me pet you? Okay, come here. Come on now, don't run away. Come on. I'm not going to hurt you. I was just going to like pet you. Okay, come here. Wait a minute. Wait. Stop now. Come on. Oh, there's a couple. Now there's a couple more over there. They're getting upset. He's making some kind of signal to him. If I try to get up real close, he runs faster, and now he's going to cross the street. I don't know if he looked both ways or not. Come on now. Come on, let me pet you, okay? Come on. I'm not going to hurt you. They can run pretty quick. All right, I'll let you go. Now it's getting soggy again. I got to watch out over here. Anyway, I've always wanted to pet one of the geese. That one with the one leg, I could get up real close to him, but he would then hop into the water too, so never got to pet him either. It'd be kind of fun to have a goose as a pet, you know. Oh, that was a bird chirping. There he goes. All right, so gives you an idea of how it's pretty impossible to pet a goose in Forest Park. But, you know, if you're welcome to try, you know, don't hurt them or anything. But, if I really had bought some popcorn or something, I might have been able to get closer to them. I forget the popcorn every time I come out here. And now you'll notice that they've burnt a lot of the weeds out of here. And that's how they weed it, I guess. They set fire to an area, and then because there's roots in the ground, the weeds come back up again, and so do the flowers. But for whatever reason, they set fire to certain sections of Forest Park to clear out the weeds. I don't know enough about the forestry principle there. Oh yeah, and here's a little stream that I love. In the summer, there's always a frog down in here. I got a good picture of him. And it looks like there's some kind of animals, those creatures are crawling around in there now. This little stream goes underneath the road, I guess, over there. So, but this is much more fascinating in the summer when all the flowers are here and the plants grow back up again. Right now it looks kind of dreary, really. Well, we're getting closer now to the outdoor theater, the Muni Opera, as it's called. Looks like there's a lot of people up here too, near the Muni. They might be having some event today up there. Sometimes they have weddings at the Muni. They, rent it for a wedding. So that could be what's going on. I don't know. And over in this parking lot, they usually put all the stumps of the trees that they've chopped off, and they're way over there. Let me see if I can zoom in on any of them. I don't know if you can see them or not. Let's see. It's got a pretty good zoom lens. And looks like they moved all the stumps now. There used to be a bunch of stumps over there. They're all gone now. Okay. So Oh, going back to the goose with the one foot and the band on its other leg, I first saw him over in this area, and then I thought, well, he probably doesn't fly. But then I saw him back over by that fishery that we walked by. So he must be able to launch himself up in the air and fly from one place to another. But he's kind of a lonely goose. You know, the other geese, he just can't keep up with them apparently, and so he's all by himself. And I usually try to bring popcorn and give him something to eat, you know. And I notice other people do that for him too. That was last year I saw him. I haven't seen him since then, so I hope he's okay. So here we are coming across another stream here in Forest Park. And there are quite a few of these streams that come through. And they're filled with fish and all kinds of frogs and all kinds of other creatures, I suppose. It looks like, oh yeah, there's some daffodils way over there. I like to zoom in on the flowers when I see them. So you can see they got a bunch of daffodils over there on the other side of the stream here. I'm going to zoom back out. And I hear some geese now. I guess they're way back over there. I don't see them flying anywhere. You can hear them? Oh yeah, there they are along the stream. Let me zoom in on some of them. They're making a lot of noise. Where are they here? I thought I just saw them. I don't know where they went to. Took off, I guess. All right. There's one of those benches again. Probably got a plaque on it dedicated to somebody or other. Oh yeah, over here, there's some really neat little cascades that come down through this area. Let me show you over here. I used to bring my little dog over here. She used to like sitting on a bench with me, you know. Oh yeah, here's one of the cascades here. You can see. There it is. And I'll zoom in on that a little bit. That's pretty cool. Now it looks like there's a couple of ducks here. I think. Oh yeah, here's a couple of ducks. They're standing on one leg. I guess they got both legs, but when they're sleeping like that, it looks like that might be geese. I don't know. Let's get over closer. Kind of funny they're standing. I mean, they're ducks. They should be able to stay in the water and sleep. Yeah, I think those are ducks. Are you ducks? Yeah, that one turned his head. Yeah, it's a duck, not a goose. Oh, I took a drink there. I'm getting closer to him. And he's ruffling his feathers up. Or going back to sleep after he got a drink. That one's got his head tucked in. It's kind of funny how they sleep like that with their... I have to look that up. Why do they do that? You know, I don't know. Anyway, you can see the stream going this way, coming this way. And they got water pumps that actually pump water into these streams so they don't dry out. And, of course, when it rains, the rain goes in there. But you see a lot of people take picnics here, sitting on the rocks. Let's walk up this way. What's this here? I wonder what that is. Oh. What is that? Is that like... Oh, it's some kind of a trash thing, I guess. Yeah, I thought it was feathers, but it's not. Okay. So now we're walking over toward the Muni again. Get over that way. And walk through some of these big trees here. And, oh, there's a couple of geese over there. I am easily distracted by wildlife, as you can see. But looks like ducks over here this time. Yeah, but this is where I saw that one-footed goose. You know, he was hanging out with ducks, actually. And, oh, there's some ducks that flew by over there. Let's take a look and see if my goose is over here. No, they're just ducks. Bunch of ducks here. That one there. Oh, those are geese out there, and these are ducks, I think. Oh yeah, here they go. Whoa, he was pretty cool. Some of them don't fly out, they just jump off. Yeah, there they are. I like to zoom in on them once in a while. Let's see what we got. Make a cute noise. Yeah, see, they're coming over toward me because they think maybe I got something to feed them. If I threw some popcorn in, they'd come right over. But actually, there's a sign that says, don't feed the ducks. They get used to it instead of eating their natural foods. But on the other hand, you know, I think the ducks would quack about that, you know. What's wrong with giving us some popcorn on that once in a while? We don't get it every day. Anyway, I do bring popcorn once in a while for them. Yeah, it looks like there's a big crowd over here by the Muni Opera now. Lots of cars parking over here. This is an outdoor theater. They have plays, they have not just operas, but all kinds of plays that they do. You can kind of see this guy here is waiting for me. Okay, good. We'll get across the street here, and then we'll get to see the Muni Opera as my walk in the park today. Again, I'm going to get off the beaten path here. Walk over here. Some of these, what kind of tree is this here? Oh, looks like yeah, holly tree, looks like. Yeah, holly trees. And yeah, so a lot of people over here sitting down. I don't like to get people in the recordings, and I have to get permission to show them, you know, so I try to keep a camera away from them. But they do have a little walkway in here that's interesting. I've been in here before, so take a look at what they got. They've got some statues in here I like to see, and let's walk over there, see the statues. And again, this is usually in the summer. There's water flowing up there, fountains on that particular center pond they got there. But here's interesting little statues here. Let's take a look at what we got. We'll see what it says here. You read that. Donor to the Muni, gives the donors names, and in honor of the Muni kids. And so here are the Muni kids playing their little instruments, little drums. And I guess this is the director here directing them. And looks like the drumsticks are broken out of this guy's hands here. Yeah, but interesting. Got a little pipe he's blowing, and it looks like a little saxophone. Pretty cool. So now I gotta walk back out. See here, they all have these plaques all over the place. You know, like Jane and Whitney Harris Anniversary Gardens at the Muni. So I guess it's all dedicated to them, their memory. And then they all have these stones here. Good times, Bob and Jan, in loving memory. Muni staff, Hudson Tree Service, celebrating music and friends. So you can see all these bricks have got somebody's name on them, and probably made donations, so they get their name in this little walkway here. Goes around there. And now come back out. Well, here's another plaque here. This tree honors the generosity of Jan and Chuck Mueller. So there's a tree honoring their memory or something. Yeah, a lot of trees are dedicated like that. So here we go back out of this little garden area. that they let you walk into, and walk across the way over here. You can see the pagoda that's out there in the middle. It's kind of hard to see it from here. There's some things blocking it, you know. But that's the pagoda. I'll get out there closer in a little bit. Right now, you can see what's coming up. Beautiful, the Karl Kindt music, June 12th to the 18th. Beauty and the Beast, June 22nd to 30th. Chess, July 5th to 11th. I know what that is, chess. The West Side Story, July 15th to the 24th. And we have gift cards here. But this is the main entrance here to the Muni. Over this way. Looks like the general offices are closed on Sunday. Really neat chandelier they got up there. And then over here, they've got, I guess these are previews of what's coming, or no, Mary Poppins 2022. So that was from last year. Sweeney Todd. Here's Chicago. And there's Mary Poppins again. And then your box office hours. Here's a Joseph Dreamcoat. These were all last year. Legally Blonde. And the color purple. And we have Sweeney Todd again. Okay, my battery ran out, so I'm just showing this over again. This is the end of what was here last year in 2022. Camelot was there. And then they have this here, Muni history. The medieval musicians. Above the ticket window are 16th century Italian and decorative figures from an elaborate estate west of Venice, designed and built by the architect Palladio, donated to the Muni Opera in 1968. So what are they talking about? These, oh, up here, these figures up here, you see them? Those were from Italy, apparently. Let's take a look at them here. Interesting. I don't think I've noticed that before in my walk in the park, maybe years ago, but I haven't paid much attention to them. Wow. There's another one. And all of those, as it says here, are from from Italy. Yeah, 16th century. This would be the 1700s Italian and decorative figures. Okay, so that's something about the Muni here. There's more plaques here to look at. The kind of dedication, a lot of the donors and so on, chairpersons of the Muni all the way through 2011 and all the way to 2022. So now we're going to go out into the, take a look at what else is coming. Little Shop of Horrors in July, Rent in August, and then Sister Act in August as well. So those are the plays and operas that are coming up at the Muni coming up here this summer. We've been to the Muni, and the only problem is there's no shelter, and if it rains, you know, you get a rain out, I guess, but it can get pretty windy too. It's all outdoor. So I'm going to look over here at the pagoda, then we're going to head back home here. Yeah. So the pagoda, as I said, was used as a music stand way back when. I don't know that they do that ever now, but it's and there used to be, from what a friend of mine told me, an apartment underneath this building, and somebody lived there. It was a caretaker for it, I guess. And so this friend of mine lived right near Forest Park and would often walk over here as a kid, and told me about that. So that's your pagoda. Now we're going to walk back toward home here, toward the St. Regis. But I'll give you one more view of the whole Muni Opera here. That's it right there. Muni Opera. And we'll walk back home. And just to get you oriented, the History Museum is straight ahead over that way. And the Art Museum would be back over there. And then the zoo is over that way. So those are some things you could walk to from here if you had a mind to do that much walking. I'm kind of whipped out for the day, so I'm going to walk back home. And I'll try to go a little different route than I came. It's not too much out of my way to go that way. This was the most direct route that I walked to the Muni here. But there's another way to go once I get across the street over here. Might see some more geese that will let me pet them. I don't think so, but I might. There's a robin. Now, robins, they never let you get close. They're really afraid. And from what I understand, the fear of humans was put into the creatures after Noah got them all off the ark, you know. And then they're all afraid of us, except for when we domesticate them, like dogs, cats, and some birds too. I saw a YouTube video of a woman and her husband who found a baby sparrow was laying on the ground. They took it home and raised it, and it became their bosom buddy and flew around with them, and it would land on their heads, and they just really enjoyed it, you know. Okay, so here is where I came down this way, but now what I'm going to do is try to walk a little different route. I'm going to go across this bridge and then walk along the other side of this water until I get back to the St. Regis, a little different route here. And look at this bridge, holy smokes. It's pretty modern, but nevertheless, it's got a unique shape to it, curved out like that. And so here's where they're putting water in there so the stream doesn't dry out. They circulate that water, and eventually all that water goes back in the Mississippi, I guess. And then they pick it up and put it back into the stream. So, okay, so here we go. I'm going to walk down along this little stream here and see what we can see that might be of interest to you. And there's some ducks out there on that pond, or in quotes, lake. And you can see the 100 Kingshighway building. When we walked over, that was over there by the Jewish memorial for the pilgrims. That's how far we are now. Now we're walking back toward there along a different route. There's a robin up there. Hey, Mr. Robin, you want me to pet you? If I had a worm, maybe he'd come over. I doubt it. And there he goes. Flying away, I know. Okay, they're afraid of us. Okay, now, probably for good reasons, of course. Yep, that's why God put fear in them. But once in a while you tame them, be kind to them. Okay, now it's kind of, wind is blowing the water over toward my lens. Hope I didn't get any water on it. You can see the power of that water coming out of there. Get a good shower if you wanted one. And now it says no access. You're not supposed to walk along in there. I guess because they have flowers and that planted there, so I can't walk there. And so once in a while you do see a no access sign like that. There's usually a good reason for it, always probably. Anyway, they have another pathway to go. Walk along this way and take a look at some flowers up there. Oh yeah, you can see the Chase Park Plaza Hotel way back there. You can see it. There it is. We walked across the street right by that on our way here. So here we go, walking along. I'll take a sweeping 360 here. There's Lindell Boulevard over that way. You know, once again, yeah, I guess they got flowers planted in there so they don't want you trampling on the flowers. It's getting kind of muddy here though, so I gotta watch where I'm stepping here. And we go. Yeah, there's some daffodils. Yeah, when you're walking along, like I could walk on that gravel, or I could walk on the softer grass. And I'd rather walk on the grass. Oh, let me zoom in on these daffodils. It's getting windy here, so you're going to hear some wind sounding. Yeah, there's some really good daffodils there, fluttering around. Amazing design. Looks like horns or tubas or something. And, all right, so here we go. Walking along the other route toward home. And like I say, if you want to come to Forest Park and do these little jaunts, you've got these videos to help you find your way. Just download them from YouTube, put them on your phone, and walk along the routes that I've taken you. And different times of the year, you're going to see a lot different foliage, of course, than here in March 5th. But there's one of those little cascades, or rapids, as we used to call them in Niagara Falls. You see the water flowing over and glistening. Pretty cool. And again, all these stones here, I have to say that they have laid some of these in place. I don't know. But it might be that this is where the stream went through Forest Park back years ago, and they just opened it up. I'll have to find out, I guess. Look in the history. There's an organization called Forest Park Forever, and you can join that group, and they try to preserve the natural beauty of the park. They don't like to have developments in the park, like they don't want a merry-go-round, they don't want a Ferris wheel. I'm not against those, though. I think they'd have their place in the park. Like in Central Park, they got a merry-go-round, and it'd be fun for the kids, you know. As long as they didn't eviscerate the natural aspects of the park completely, I think some of that would be good. And it looks like there's a couple geese over there on the other side of the stream. I'd like to zoom in on them. That's one thing this camera I got has got a really powerful zoom lens. Lets me see things I couldn't see otherwise. Looks like that goose is just getting a drink of water. Yeah. How they put it in their mouth and then lift up their heads. Gurgle it down. Alright. So here's one of those sycamores again. I love that bark of those trees. I'm going along this way. And take a look around this side. Like I say, much greenery yet. Looks like they had cattails here they cut off. A lot of cattails, a little rivulet there. And over there they've got more of a just a blank stream. Here's one here. Little stream here. Always like to look, see if a turtle pokes his head up, because they got a lot of turtles in these little ponds here. I'm gonna walk over this way. Here's a neat place if your family would like to have a picnic or something. It's little known. I've been here before, but we've got a bunch of rocks set in a circle like. And you could actually have somebody come here and do entertainment. You know, they could get their guitar out or their flute out or bagpipes or something. And people could sit on these stones and then entertain them. Pretty neat. This could be a table. Put your food up here that everybody could get it. And we can go out here and take a look at. Oh, it looks like there's some flowers down there. Somebody must have had an event here, because those are like flowers you could get at a florist shop, and then maybe had a wedding reception or something. I don't know. Anyway, somebody must know about this place, but I really like it. It's one of these days I'm going to get my family to come out here. We'll bring our picnic basket, have a little picnic there next to the stream. It's pretty isolated. Be pretty quiet. Do have a lot of people coming down the paths, as you can see up ahead there, and then, but not as many as you'd think. There's a nice bridge over there that we're going to cross over, and a stream going down that way, a little ditch. And then we have like this little pond here. So now we're coming out over to a statue that I've seen before, and I forget the general's name, but one time I was over here, in one of the ears of the horse, hornets or wasps had made a nest in there. You could see them all flying around. So what's the buzzing in the horse's ear? A bunch of wasps, you know. Let's take a look and get up close and see what this statue is dedicated to. As I said, there are a lot of statues in Forest Park, and just kind of walking around them, you get a good sense of the history of the St. Louis area. So let's go around the front here, and we'll get a good close-up of this horse and I think the general that's on top of him here. So walk around the shrubbery. There's an entrance here somewhere, and I can read the inscription here. I don't know if you're supposed to walk in here or not, but I'm not going to step on the plants. So, okay, so here it is. It's a General, what's it say? General Franz Sigel. Okay, so let's go up closer and see what this is about here. To remind future generations of the heroism of the German-American patriots, St. Louis and vicinity, in the Civil War of 1861 to 1865. So I'm assuming he was a Union general, and sun's up there behind it, so you're just getting a silhouette right now. Let me move over to the side, get a better picture of him. There he is. Still got shadow on his face. Let's get in real close, see if we can get rid of that. There he is. Yeah, so you can see him. And it looks like, if I come down, he's got binoculars in his hand. And come over to the horse. And you can see the reins that are on there. There's his foot and boot. And a lot of good detail on that horse and that statue. The other side looks like he's got a sword over there or something hanging down. All right, let's go around that way. I can't really see too well with the sun angled the way it is here. Okay, now I can look up straight, and that looks like, yeah, a scabbard for a sword that he's got in his hand up there. Yeah, that's the bottom of his boot. And there's that horse, and in one of those ears there was a wasp nest. Not there anymore, but well, anyway, that's a statue in commemoration of the German Americans, I guess. General Franz Sigel. Probably Google him and find out about him. That's one thing about Google. I could bring it up right now and tell you all about him. I'm not going to. I'll let you do that. Okay, so here we go now. We're walking back toward the St. Regis, a different route. And looks like I'm running out of battery, so I'm going to stop this video and put in another battery here. Okay, so we're back on camera again. Yeah, the batteries in this camera, when you're doing video, last for about half an hour, and then you got to replace them. So this lock has been apparently more than an hour. I might trim some of the walking down when I get back. I can bring it into Adobe Premiere and chop out some of the dead spots, boring spots, and then just leave the the good spots in there. Although I kind of like to keep it the same length of the walk, so you get an idea how long it took to walk this distance. So just to get you oriented again, I had walked over there along that road, way over there, away from the St. Regis and the 100 Kingshighway, and now I'm walking back on this little path, and we'll come back to join up here in a little bit. Remember the pathway where the bikes were running along and that, so they were coming down here, crossing over me over there by the street there in the Grand Avenue that we were walking on. But here's another pond or lake, and looks like they didn't burn down the cattails this time. They left them all up. The cattails are fascinating, and especially when they've gone to seed like these have. I'm going to zoom in on one of those tassels there, see if you can see some of the seeds hanging there. Get in there and get a good shot of them. Yeah, there we go. So the way they're designed, the wind blows them and they reseed themselves somewhere else in the pond. And so walk along here, and you can see over here, do a 360. There's a bridge I could have gone over, and now we're over here, and we're walking back home towards the St. Regis. Walk out this way a little bit. I go on a lot of tangents because that's when you really see things you maybe haven't seen before. Here's some more of those roots I was talking to you about from the cypress trees. And a lot of times you'll see turtles, and there's a bird just flew out there into the cattail area. I can just kind of walk up this way. Look, there's some of those roots coming up. You got to be careful of you don't trip on them. You're walking through this part of the forest park, and getting back to well, here's a couple of robins here again. Let me see if I can zoom in on that little guy there. You know what's funny is when you zoom in on a bird with a camera, it's somehow, there's reflection off the lens or something that gives them a clue that you're looking at them. That's kind of weird. And so here's like a little place you can walk out. I've been out there before, but it's an isolated little area, like a peninsula. It's like a stream goes around it. They got this bridge, a big piece of slate over the top of it. Look at that. That's a big piece of stone. It's natural. And then you can walk out there and take a look at all that in that lake over there. So now we're going to go back around this way and see what anything new that I can see as I walk along here. Nothing new yet, but gives you the idea of how dramatic. Oh, there was a couple of pigeons there. There's some wood that's deteriorating. And again, here's some cattails. Get up a little closer to some of these. Let's see if I can zoom in on these a little bit better. Oh yeah, there they are. Still got a few seeds in there. They could blow away, although it looks like most of them are gone now. Here's one that's got a lot of seed on it right there. There it is. A little fluffy seed. I'm going to try to grab this one. It's really close, if I can not fall in. Yeah, just take that off of there. Then you can maybe see it up close here. Get some of these off of there. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'll see if I can see it. I gotta get out and get it in focus somehow. Well, I've got only got two hands. Let me try to give a focus to it here, and then see if it'll focus in. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can't see it. Yeah, without my hand being on the focus dial, I'm not able to get it. But you can see I'm going to just throw these up there. And that's the way it goes here. Okay. Well, that wasn't successful. Yeah, when you only have two cans and one's holding the camera and the other's holding some seeds, it's hard to focus it on the seeds. It didn't autofocus too well. Yeah. Yep. There's a big log out there in the middle of the lake. And no turtles on it, but usually that's what the turtles do. They'll climb up on it. Uh-oh, now here's some water on the off the beaten path. I got to go over this way and not trip on any of these stub roots that come up from these trees. What are these things, I wonder? That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen these before. I wonder what those are. There's another one here. Looks like birds kind of peck inside there. Maybe it's woodpeckers or something. I'll have to look that up. Watch where I'm going here now. And keep going along. We might see some creatures. Oh, there's that bridge over there that we crossed over. Remember when we started out, there were those holes and those big balls. That's the bridge we walked down. So you can see how we looped around here. And coming back to a starting point as we get up here. Now it looks like there's a big tree limb about to fall out of that tree. You can see it there, hanging there. You don't want to walk underneath things like that. Be careful when you're walking in Forest Park, especially off the beaten path like I am here. And so now we come along and get back here to the starting point, and then I will give you the goodbye once I get us back to where we started from. Well, not exactly where we started from. I want to get back to the road here, and then there's no sense walking back, recording all the way back to the St. Regis again, although, well, you know, maybe I will, because that gives you the total length of the walk and everything. And I guess I could always trim some of it out and then tell you how long it was. That may be less boring. Now you can see these people at a distance. I don't have to worry about getting their faces in it, but see, a lot of people are out for a walk today with their dogs. And there's that pond. I don't know why they have a bike rack here. It's falling over. Nobody's going to use that along the way, I don't think. Unless the bike broke down, then they could lock it up, I guess, down there. You can see the Children's Hospital over there. There's 100 North Kingshighway apartment building, 37 stories tall. There's the Chase Park there. So, yeah, the rest of it on the way back is kind of boring, so I'm turning it off.